In this video, we'll take a look at the various settings available to you in the ZYTO 5.0 software, including adding a customized report header, syncing your software, and checking your connection to the ZYTO Hand Cradle. All right, let's get started. We'll come in here to the ZYTO software and click on the Settings menu. The bottom option here is the Preferences. And the first item to note here is the Prompt to Name Session on Close option. When you exit a session that you haven't named yet, it will prompt you to enter a name and save it if this is checked. Otherwise, it won't remind you to save it. Typically, you'll want to have this box checked because naming a session makes it easier to quickly know what that session was about later on. Another option in this tab is to reduce the animation, which will turn off the video and graphics that play when you run a scan. This can be helpful if you're working on a slower computer. Reducing the animation may make your computer run more smoothly in that case. You can also change the language in this tab. So we have a few different languages available, and if you do select a new language, it will restart the software and then load in the language you choose. Another thing you can do is turn the spell checker on. This will then spell check when you're typing anywhere, such as in the client notes, for example. Now, there are a couple of additional options in here if you have the Select, Elite, or Evoc software. They have to do with selecting the default tab you want to show up first in your sessions. And you can also select how long to run the virtual antenna option, as well as adding music if you have the Evoc software. The next option here is the Report Setup tab. This is where you can go in and build your own header or full cover page for the reports that you give to your clients. We have a couple of templates in here that you can select from also. For example, I'll select this ZYTO header template, and you can see it has a logo and also some practitioner and client information that it will automatically pull in. So you could use this pre-made template, or you could go in and edit it or copy it over. Or you could just build a new one from scratch. Basically, it's easily customizable for what you want it to be. The important thing is that you'll need to have this cover page box checked, otherwise it won't display on your reports. A header or whole cover page can be a great marketing tool for your business. You can put in your own logo along with your contact details, and then you can also put in some discount coupons for supplements or future scans, referrals, and things like that. So it's an organic marketing tool for you because people naturally want to share their reports with their friends or family or coworkers. People really get excited about this information. So just having that ability to customize and build in some options on your report is a great feature. Now, we do have another video that goes over how to customize your report cover page in more detail, and the link for that video will be in the description. Next, let's take a look at the Email tab. This is pretty straightforward. It's automatically set to send reports from your ZYTO account email. So when you send a report, it will send from your ZYTO account email to the client's email. You also have the option to send the email from the local client that's on your computer. That will just pull up that client for you to send the report. Or you can set it to go through a regular web-based Gmail or Outlook email. And you just need to enter your email username and password to link that up for that option. The next thing on the menu here is the Sync tab. This tab gives you the opportunity to back up what you've recently done by syncing it to our encrypted servers. Now, if you're always connected to the internet, you probably won't use this feature that much because the software automatically updates everything when you enter or exit. But this can be useful if you happen to run scans somewhere that doesn't have an internet connection. Then when you do reconnect, you can just come in and select this Sync button. Scan information is automatically saved to your hard drive without needing an internet connection. But syncing to our servers ensures that your information is backed up in case anything happens to your hard drive. Plus, it also ensures that your data is the same across any computers that you use. In addition to backing up your data, syncing will also update any new library information and any software updates. All right, to summarize, you don't necessarily have to be connected to high-speed internet to run a ZYTO scan, which is nice, but you can sync it manually when you're back online. And then there may be some other scenarios when you're using certain features in the Elite software. for example, where you'll want to run a manual sync as well. Another thing to note is that you'll need to sync your computer at least once every 30 days so that ZYTO can confirm that you still have an active subscription. The next option here is the Release License tab. I can come in here and select Release License, and it will release the license from this computer and close the software. So if you want to log into the software on a different computer, this is the button you'd want to select in order to then claim it on the other computer. While you can have the software installed on more than one computer, you can only be logged into the software on one computer at a time. So that's why you need to go through this process if you want to log in on a different computer. All right, now we mentioned in the software and account support video that you can release the license from your online dashboard. But you also have the option to release it directly from the software this way. So, two different ways to do the same thing. This way you obviously have to do it on the computer you're currently logged in on, while with the dashboard, you can go in and release it anywhere as long as you have an internet connection. Okay, the next option to cover here is the Hardware tab. This is where you can go in and make sure that your hand cradle is working, or if you want to switch to simulation mode. So, I'm going to go ahead and put my hand on the hand cradle, and it can be either right or left hand. You could also put it on a bare stomach or a thigh. As long as it's connected to bare skin on all 6 points, it will work. That can be helpful if you have someone that maybe has some bad arthritis in the hands or some other issue. You can still get a connection that way. All right, with my hand on the hand cradle, you can see that all these points are yellow. And if I lift up a finger, you can see that the yellow isn't on that finger anymore, so there's no longer a connection. This is where you can check that out and make sure that the cradle is working properly. Now, the ZYTO Hand Cradle is a Class 2 medical device. It's cleared by the FDA to measure galvanic skin response, and it's very accurate at gathering galvanic skin response readings from the body. And then this data is used by the ZYTO software to analyze various virtual items. And we'll get into more about what virtual items are and how they're used in the software in the next video. But this really is an amazing piece of technology that works seamlessly with the software and gives you some really valuable information about your wellness. Another thing you can do here is switch from regular scanning mode to simulation mode. This is helpful to use when you're learning how to use the software, or if you just want to test out a biosurvey because you can run the scan a lot faster. It will just give you dummy placeholder information because it's not actually scanning a real person. You'll see here that you can speed up the simulation too, so you can run a scan very quickly without having to wait. Of course, after you've used the simulated mode, you'll want to remember to go back to the hand cradle mode when you're ready to run a scan on a real person. Another thing here that you'll see if you have the Select, Elite, or Evox is the virtual antenna. That covers the basic settings of the ZYTO 5.0 software. In the next video, we'll explain how to set up your inventory for scanning.